Hello everyone, welcome to Tutorials Diary. In this session, we will talk about the hash algorithm which we have in a blockchain. So in the previous few video, we have talked about some of the basic concept which we have in a blockchain, and that covers about Ethereum and the Hyperledger. And the very recent video which we have made, we have talked about the consensus and what is consensus all about and how this is linked to blockchain. And in this session, we are going to cover very important concept which is hash. And this plays a very major role in the blockchain. So again, you can go to this blog also, which we have written to go over the same thing instead of going over the video. So it's up to you. You can go over the video or this blog post. So when we talk about blockchain, so there are few things which this is the reason blockchain is so much popular. The very first thing is security. Okay, and another thing which we have talked about is immutable. There are more features also blockchain, but in this post we're talking about the security. So when we say blockchain, the very first thing comes to our mind is security. So why blockchain is so much secure? Okay, so let's talk about that one. So hash is one of the component which play a major role in blockchain security. This is not the only one component, but this is one of the component which play a major role. So let's see what is hash all about and how this is being used in a blockchain and how this play a crucial role in the security of the blockchain. So when we talk about hash, so hash is kind of this junk character which you may have seen. So in this blog post, if you see this kind of text somewhere in the blockchain, that you will come to know that this is a hash. Okay. So what is hash means? So hash is a function which we use to generate a fixed length of junk character from some input value. Okay, so this is mentioned it here. A hash is a function that converts an input of letter or number into an encrypted output of a fixed length. Okay, so this length of hash will be always fixed. So suppose if you give 1 KB of input or 10 MB of input or 1 GB of input, the hash will always be fixed length. That looks magical, that looks very strange. Like for every kind of input, the hash value, the hash length is always remain fixed, right? So that is the magic or the beauty about the hash function. And this looks very I don't think so anyone will be able to read this value or remember this value. So this looks like a junk characters which are combined together and make this some value. So this is known as hash basically. So hash can take any kind of input. You can give the images, text, PDF files, zip files, some kind of anything which you can give to the hash, and it can take that value and give you a simple some junk character value. So if you can just see the example of hello, I have given a hello as an input value, and that has given me this value as a hash, right? So this is a function of hash, h input value is hello, and this give me values, right? Now this is simple the definition of hash. Now how this is related to the blockchain. So when you talk about a blockchain, okay, and as we discussed in the last video also, blockchain is nothing a combination of different blocks which are chained together, right? And then inside each block you will have different kind of information stored. So all the transactions which we do, it gets stored in a block format, right? So it has some more detail, like the transaction is not stored in a plain format, it gets stored in a Merkle tree, and in the Merkle tree you will have a transaction hash, and that we have discussed in the one of the video. You can go and check it there in the detail, but I will not go into detail about Merkle tree here. But at high level, the point I'm just trying to make here, in the blockchain, all the information is being stored in a block format, in the blocks, right? And then whatever information is being stored in the blocks, it is being stored in form of hash. So you will not store the information in a plain text format. So every information which you store, it get encrypted with the help of this hash, then only it will get stored to a blockchain. Okay, so now, so the question comes that why to use a hash in a blockchain. So as I mentioned, the starting blockchain, this hashing algorithm will increase the security drastically, because anyone who try to change the information, okay, the first point is that no one will be able to decrypt the information by looking the information of this hash. So if you can imagine, can someone will identify that from this hash they can drive that hello word? No, I don't think so. It becomes very difficult for to drive a input value from this hash. So this increased the security by multiple fold. So this makes your information very much secure, right? So this is means that hash is one way only. So one way means that you can give the input, you give the output. You can't generate a input back from output in when you use a hash. So this is the reason the hash is being used in a blockchain. Now what all features we have under hash? So you can't have same hash for two different values. Okay, so this is one of the features. So you will never ever have a same hash for two different values. So if we have, let's suppose if you take the example of below point, if you give the hash for hello where h is small, you will get this hash. Now if you keep the h in caps, then the value of hash is different. It is totally different. With the minute change also, if you put some dot or comma, that will also change your hash value. So it can identify that the value is being changed. So this is how anyone can identify that if anything is trying to manipulate some information blockchain, the people will get to know, because it will generate a new hash whenever the information is being changed, right? And then the fixed length value, as I mentioned before, always hash will generate a fixed length value. It will, irrespective of what is the input, whether it's a simple text format or zip file or length or PDF, it will always generate a fixed length value. Okay, and another one, it is impossible to determine the input based on hash value. So if you give this hash to anyone, if you tell them, okay, give me the input value for this hash, it is become impossible to get the input value. Okay, so now this is the hash. Now this hash is being used in a different way in each blockchain. As we have mentioned here, like in the Bitcoin, we use SHA-256 hash algorithm to generate these hashes. And in Ethereum, we use KECGK-256 hash algorithm. So hash algorithm is being different in each blockchain. So but the concept remains same. Okay, so the value of hash may be different for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the main concept for blockchain remains same. So this is the reason hash become very important part of the blockchain, and this is the reason we say hash play a major role to make the blockchain very much secure. So this is all we have in this session. Thanks for watching.